So this is the sidebar which is appearing right at the left side of this individual web page. And if we click outside, we can see that this will be the result. But on the other hand, we can see that an eerie thing happens. The viewport is right now blank while the rest of the content is now pushed down. If we reload again, we can see that the site content is now right at the place where it should have been. But if we click onto this button and on bringing on this individual sidebar action into the left place, we can see that the site's content is now blank at the viewport. This is what is very much expected. The original intention of this pusher class is to push up the site's content into your page, and that is why in order to achieve so, instead of closing this div right after this button ID, we need to close the div at the end of this individual web page after each and every content so far which is been created right over here. So we will be closing that particular div class pusher right over here. Now if we head back to our project and reload, we can see that everything is back into its order. And if we now click here, we can see that the site's content remain in place. If we now toggle it back, we can see that the site's content is right now into the place where it should have been. So this is how you will be able to initialize your sidebar action. All you have to do, first of all, you need to create the HTML markup language over here. Next, you need a pusher class, and next you need to initialize the sidebar toggling action, mentioning what will happen to the page after you click this individual button which has an ID of click here, and you define the action to be performed after clicking that individual button. And in the last case, to put all the site's content proper into their places, you need to close this closing div tag right at the bottom of each and every content so far that you have created into your page. In the next case, direction, you may change the direction of the sidebar. So instead of a left sidebar, which is a default value set for this individual sidebar action, you may use all of them like this, top, right, bottom, or whatever it is. Like here it is your sidebar, so you may use here this top sidebar. Press Ctrl S, head back to your project and reload. Now you can see that the sidebar appears on the top of the page, and you may use the bottom sidebar. There it goes. So reload, and if we now click, we can see that the sidebar appears from the bottom element. In the similar fashion, you may use some kind of right sidebar here. So instead of left, it will be now appearing from the right. Reload, click here, and you can see that the sidebar now appears right at the right part of your web page of your browser. So on the other hand, you may set the width of the sidebar. For say, you may set it thin or you may set it very wide, whatever you want. This is the range of the width of the sidebar. So instead of mentioning any kind of top or left or right, if we mention here thin sidebar, press Ctrl S, head back to your project and reload. Now you can see that this is going to be the result. Instead of thin sidebar, if we now use very wide sidebar, and you can see that this is going to be the result. The sidebar is now ultra wide, it is now very wide in nature. So this is how you may change the direction of the sidebar, or you may set the width of the sidebar, whether it is going to be a very thin one or a very wide one or a normal one, whatever you wish. You may set it right over here. Instead of very wide, you may set it to wide. This is how you may set it every time you wish. So this is what we need to know from this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we will be learning some more components related to this UI semantic. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.